Let me bring in a guest who's joining us on the broadcast. Sudhanshu Mani, who's the ex-GM Railways, and he's also the creator of Vande Bharat, is joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Mani, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. We look forward to this because this is a very important conversation where you would be able to throw light on what exactly are we looking at. One of the deadliest train accidents that the country has witnessed. But the cause of the accident is still prima facie the electronic interlocking system failure, and yet the government is not really putting it in black and white because they're still looking at the other aspects. What really caused this collision? What are you learning?
Okay, yesterday there were many versions and I also spoke things because of lack of information. But now, through various sources, it's become more or less clear.
Okay.
And I will try to explain to you what happened.
Okay.
With some caveat. The caveat is that it's a matter of investigation and inquiry, and there may be certain mistakes in what I tell you, but nevertheless. So, electronic interlocking failure, there is no such thing. If it fails, it goes to safe mode. A failure of electronic interlocking as such cannot cause an accident.
Okay.
Because it is made fail-safe. Let's try to understand it. It goes to a mode in which the trains are either stopped or whatever, but it would not cause failure.
Okay.
However, if it is made to fail in some manner, either through sabotage or through maintainers' careless or shortcut working, it's possible. Because it's tampering, it's not a failure. So I'll now reconstruct the accident for you.
So you are not ruling out sabotage?
That
Are you not?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
Did I say that? I said either sabotage or a maintenance staff in a careless, shortcut way of working to expedite his work under pressure of work or whatever. So I can now reconstruct for you as to what could have happened. All right?
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, please go ahead. We are able to hear you, Mr. Sudhanshu Mani.
You can hear me?
Yes. Please go ahead, sir. Are you able to hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. You are loud and clear.
Okay, say that. Right. Thank you. So now this train, goods train arrives at the station, is taken on the loop line. Now the station master has to normalize the point, that is set the route not on the loop line, incoming route, but to the main line, which is vacant. Now, whether he did it or did not do it, he definitely got an indication that the main line route has been set and not loop line. Now, without his doing it is possible, or otherwise, if somebody is tampering with the electronic interlocking while maintaining it or otherwise, it's possible by certain action in the circuitry or relay that this happens. Now, whether the station master actually tried to change the route, got the indication, whereas the route actually did not change, or he tried to do it and he got an indication and the route did not change, or the route change, indication of route change came on his panel and the route remained in the loop line. This is what has happened. Now, once the route remained in loop line, the signal was given for main line, which otherwise cannot happen unless there is a tampering. The train driver obviously came at full speed because he's going in the main line, a straight path. The Coromandel drivers, he cannot be blamed. As soon as he came to the point of change, he realized he's going to the loop line. At that stage, either he starts derailing or he goes forward and within 100, 150 yards goes and bangs against the stationary goods train. And after that, Yeshwantpur train was also passing. It had nearly passed, but these coaches were getting scattered, capsized, mangled, as the 2-3 coaches of that train also got involved. So, now whether it was some saboteur doing this or whether it was some maintenance staff doing it in a slipshod, careless, shortcut manner because of his habit or because of pressure of time. You see, these routes are very congested. And there is a pressure always that the train should keep running and a maintenance block should not eat away the train time. So these maintainers are under pressure to do the work quickly, and sometimes they do adopt these shortcuts.
But Mr. Mani,
The
I
question
believe they
here
are
is-
trained to do all of that. Is that right? Because you are the creator of Vande Bharat, one of the fastest trains that the country has at the moment. The other critique against the administration and the government vis-a-vis railways is that there is a lot of push and a kick towards speed rather than the safety precautions. This tampering that you're talking about, possible tampering or maintenance upheavals that you're talking about, were not dealt with is also that's being said, because we have had a similar instance which has been avoided in February, where there could have been a possible electronic interlocking issue that thankfully was avoided, and thankfully there was no derailment that happened at that time. But despite that instance, why was something really not done about it? Why was cognizance not taken is the big question.
No, it's not a question. I am not really fully aware of the case you're talking about, but it's not a question of taking cognizance of that case. What I'm trying to tell you, this shortcut way of working is not, it is rare, but it is not so uncommon. It happens and people close their eyes to it because it is done in the interest of keeping the trains moving. It is, I'm not excusing
At the
it.
cost of
I'm
safety.
saying
At
it
the cost of
happens
safety.
Please let me complete.
Yes.
I'm saying it happens, yes, at the cost of safety. This time, the circumstances became such that many things combined to make this a massive accident, massive mishap. Otherwise, this happens at times and there is no accident. The work is done quickly and restored. So the question arises in this zone, in this area, whether this was a practice to do it occasionally or is it one-off case? Because that will determine, because if it was being done occasionally, of course not frequently, then there is a culpability of the management also. It's not just the signal maintainer or the station master.
Right. Mr.
So
Mani,
that's
what
the
you're
larger
telling
question
us,
which the inquiry would
is
start.
very, very serious, because here in this case, we are talking about 290 lives that have been lost. The figure could be much more. We're talking about over 1,000 people who are injured, some of them grievously injured. And you are saying that this could be a case and it could be a regular affair. It can't be a fluke when it is about a system as important as the railway lines, where almost everybody in the country travels through them once in their lifetime at least. And this is just putting it together and putting it into perspective. If this is what you're saying, then people will stop traveling through rails. This is really serious.
It's not a matter of what I'm saying. I'm only telling you it's not regular, first of all. I didn't say regular. I says it is not that uncommon. It is done occasionally. And it is serious. No doubt about it, it is serious. And if the somewhere at some stage management has closed its eyes against this, then that's also serious, more serious than the lower level staff doing it. That is a matter of investigation. I'm not precluding sabotage as such. It is appearing unlikely to me. A saboteur would not get into a complicated electronic system to do his sabotage. He'll prefer to go midsection and try to do something with the track. That's my assumption. So what I'm trying to say that it is not a failure. It is most likely a man-made situation which resulted in this accident.
You were talking about speed, sir. I'd like to understand this one thing. Let's take all the points that you have put together for our viewers. If at all there was a snag or an issue with the electronic circuiting that possibly the station master must have noticed, a manual intervention, how much can that work if the train is going at 100 kilometers per hour?
Not 100, 130, I believe, first of all. And if you're talking about the station master, there are two scenarios. The station master reverses normalizes the point, that means sets it to main line. And he gets an indication, yes, this has been done. Then you can't really blame him. If this has happened because of some tampering, because the route has actually not changed, he's only getting an indication that this has happened. On the other hand, if he did not do anything and he saw the route getting changed to main line, then he is culpable as to why this happened, although he did not take any action. Actually, it happened because of the tampering. That's the role of the station master. If there was a signaling maintenance staff working in the relay room or the equipment room, then obviously he is culpable of doing a shortcut. This is a likely scenario which I have painted. I'm not the devil's advocate, or I'm not trying to, unnecessarily raise a scandal here. It's a possibility which the investigation should look at. I'm saying that this is a most likely possibility.
Okay. All right, Mr. Sudhanshu Mani, thank you so much. Appreciate you joining us on the broadcast and offering your perspective on what might have happened that caused this deadly train attack.